Hello everyone and welcome back to another video with On Point Politics, your number one stop for all things polling and election analysis in the United States. Today, we're going to be talking about why Donald Trump could actually be headed for a landslide victory in the Electoral College. Make sure to hit the like button to subscribe if you want more content just like this. This is very simple, right? This is not complicated. If we look at the most accurate pollsters from this election, correct? We look at the most accurate pollsters from 2020. This is a scorecard that I made. The most accurate pollsters, Rasmussen, Electoral College, Emerson College, funny enough, they actually had a pretty accurate average. Big Poll Data and Alice Intel, their averages slash polls had the best shot, with Alice Intel being the most accurate, having the least absolute amount of error, only 0.2% off from the final score. So now, looking at this, we also see that we are looking at the scorecard here. They are all graded as an A pollster according to my curve. And so what we're actually doing is we created an aggregate like the one I have with only the accurate pollsters. And when you do that, Donald Trump leads the popular vote by 3.1 percentage points. All of the pollsters who were spot on in 2020 and have been accurate internationally, that being Alice Intel, they show Donald Trump with a pretty decent lead, or at least with a tied popular vote. And when you adjust for the projected electorate from Alice Intel, which when we do that for the 2020 election with the same exact pollsters, guess what, guys? We get Biden plus 5.3, or Biden plus 5.4, I believe it is, in the popular vote, which would have been able to help me predict the 2020 election properly. And so, guys, based off of that, Donald Trump is headed for a big win in the Electoral College. We also have Rich Barris, the People's Pundit, who is currently live right now. You know, I love watching his show. He just said he's polling Nevada, and we are getting some pretty good news for Trump. He said, as things are holding in the state of Nevada, Donald Trump is ahead in Clark County in Nevada. So Nevada, in Clark County, he's ahead, a county that Biden won by 9. And in Washoe County, he's ahead by 8 points. That's a 12-point shift. And I want you to notice something about this county. 13-point win here. Obama won the popular vote by 7. Then in 2012, Obama won the popular vote by 3.9. Obama won it by 3.7. Clinton, the popular vote, 1.2. Clinton. She ended up winning this county by 1.2. Biden, the popular vote, 4.5-point win. He won Washoe by 4.5. So it actually tends to vote with the nation at large. And so if that even holds up, whatever lead Barris has in Washoe may actually be pretty indicative of what the national environment's going to be, because this county the past few cycles has actually been voting with the nation at large. And so there's a good chance it may even vote to the right of the nation, considering that Nevada is trending to the right. So whatever result he gets from Washoe, you could probably assume that 2 or 3 points behind that is the national popular vote, give or take. And he says right now, after 2 days of polling, Donald Trump is ahead in Washoe by 8 points, guys. That is a huge lead in Washoe County. And so with all that information, and not only just that information, we also have a poll from a university, guys, that voted for Joe Biden by 37 points in their final poll on campus, and Donald Trump is beating Kamala Harris by 2 points with this poll. I mean, just incredible. And it was post-debate, by the way. This was a post-debate poll, and he's ahead by 2 points, guys. And this is a poll that had Biden up 37 points. Guys, this is remarkable stuff, guys. Everything is adding up. Even this, which is something that I really want to look at, guys. Look at this Gallup tracker of the party ID. In 2008, Democrats were ahead by 8 points on party ID. They won the popular vote by 7. 2012, Democrats up by 4. Obama won the popular vote by 4. Democrats up 3. Clinton won the popular vote by 2. Democrats up 5. Biden won the popular vote by 4.5. Republicans are up. Even in 2004, Bush wasn't even leading. The Republicans were tied with Democrats there. They're up. They're up right now. And usually the final result ends up being more right leaning than what the final result here is. Whatever the party ID is, the final result usually ends up being a point more or half a point more Republican than what the party ID is. And so if you were to apply that to here, it would be a 3.5 point win. And right now, Alice Intel has Trump winning the popular vote by 3.6. So literally all of the accurate indicators are lining up to a humongous electoral college win for the former president. This would put states like Iowa, Ohio in the safe column for Donald Trump, potentially Texas in the safe column. Florida would be in the likely column, probably a 13-point win for the former president. I mean, second would be gone. I mean, that would just be a safe margin for the former president in that case. Washington, Oregon would be likely. Colorado would probably be a 6 to 7 point win for Kamala Harris. Illinois would end up being around a 7 to 8 point victory for Kamala if this was the case. Hawaii would probably even fall under the 15-point category. Connecticut, Rhode Island, Delaware would probably be in the likely column as well. New York would probably fall within single digits if that was the case. More than likely, probably an 8 or 9 point win for Kamala. Maine second would be the likely category right now. We would be looking at pretty big wins in Georgia and North Carolina, probably 9 to 8 points in some of these states. And what's pretty fascinating is the state of North Carolina has kind of been moving with the shift of the nation. So basically, however much North Carolina the past 2 cycles has moved to a certain candidate, tends to also move with the nation. So it's basically been a stagnant state, essentially. It always votes a certain amount to the right of the nation. And so if the national popular vote is about Trump plus 3.5, if it's voting 5.8 percentage points or somewhere around that ballpark, it would be about a 9-point victory in the Electoral College, which is currently what my model actually has in the state of North Carolina, by the way. And the mail-in ballots get redder and redder and redder. Every day, the requests are getting redder and redder and redder. They just got more Republican today. There's been like a 20-point net shift to Republicans in the past couple of weeks in the early vote and mail-in vote in North Carolina. So, again, Arizona and Nevada. I mean, if those results in Nevada hold up, if he's really up in Clark County and he's up in Washoe by 8, I mean, he's winning Nevada by over 5. Like, there's no question. He would be winning Nevada by over 5. Wisconsin and Pennsylvania would be likely margins as well. Michigan probably falls into the lean category, as well as Nebraska second. And to be honest, if he's really doing that well in the popular vote, he's probably gained a lot with Hispanics and African Americans too, which would put states like Minnesota, New Mexico, Virginia, New Jersey, New Hampshire, Maine at large, essentially in jeopardy for Kamala Harris. I mean, New Jersey probably falls under, maybe is a 6-7 point win for Kamala, give or take in that environment. Looking at Virginia, this is the hard part because Virginia, you've had those low propensity turnout voters kind of come out. I think Harris would still win the state of Virginia by probably a point or two in a R plus 3.5 national environment, R plus 3.1. She probably would still win it by about 2 points, but it would be close. New Hampshire would have already been flipped as well as Maine at large. And more than likely, I would say that New Mexico would be very, very competitive, and Minnesota would probably come down to the wire. It potentially would even flip to Donald Trump at that point. And guys, my election model right now has Donald Trump with 312 electoral votes, except the problem is Minnesota, New Hampshire, Maine at large, and Nebraska are all tilt Democrat. If the popular vote in my model were to shift a point more Republican, we would essentially get a Republican win in all of those states. Effectively, he would gain all those electoral college votes. And if he's winning the popular vote by 3.5, this would be the more than likely outcome from that result. New Mexico would potentially even have the possibility of flipping if he were to gain with Hispanics. And we can even play around with the Cook Political Report, swingometer. If we were to play around with this, I mean, if Donald Trump just improves slightly with non-college voters, if he improves slightly with college grads, which that poll would suggest he is. This poll right here, the poll from the university that I just showed. I mean, if he's really doing this well in a college like this, he probably is tying with college-educated voters at that point. If he's getting this high of a lead in the popular vote, he's probably winning about 15, 16, 17% of the black vote, give or take. Hispanics would definitely be a lot more competitive than what they have been before, and the other / Asian vote would be a lot closer. And you get a victory that sort of similar to what I'm insinuating. These two would be close, and New Hampshire and Maine would basically be within margin of error, and Virginia would be like about a 1.5, 2-point victory. And here you would see about almost a 4-point win in the popular vote, give or take. There's some room of margin for error here. There's some room, but clearly there's definitely a shift here. You see, if I shift it a little bit, New Hampshire goes. So guys, make sure to go ahead and to hit the like button and to subscribe to the channel. If you guys want more content just like this, I'm here to give you the most accurate analysis of the election. And right now it seems like there is a possibility, when looking at all the evidence, that Donald Trump can actually win in a landslide fashion come November. I will see you guys in the next video.